Okay. You've seen Home Alone? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it like
It's been a while. I didn't really enjoy it that much the first time I watched it, so
Okay, all right.
it's been a while.
Let's start off on a good foot here, okay? It's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Maybe you should have brought up a better movie if you wanted to
Whoa.
start off on a good foot.
Oh! Okay, so let's get started. What is a good movie, then, in your...
Well, we were just talking about Good Will Hunting. That's a good movie.
Good Will Hunting is a good one. It's also sad.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, good movies are usually sad.
I mean, that's when I first saw it.
Name a good movie that isn't really at all sad.
That's a great question. I'm going to think of one by the end of this interview. I swear to it. Oh, I was gonna say, Love Actually, but then homeboy cheats on his wife with the coworker.
Yeah, see, that's sad.
Yeah, damn. All right, I'm gonna think of one by the end of this. Anyways, what is your name and what do you do?
My name is Alina, and I do a lot of things, but what do I like to do?
Well, as a musician, like, what do you play?
I thought you were gonna ask, like, what do I do? And, like,
okay, well then
I
let's.
make coffee for a living.
But let's go there then. Let's go there.
Okay.
If like in Europe, people will say, "What do you do?"
Yeah,
and
that's like such a big question.
But like in Western culture, it's tough to like tackle because we're like, I make money doing this. But in Europe, they would say, no, but what do you do? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I write and I play music, and yeah.
I literally thought you said you riot and you play music.
No, I write.
You write and you play music.
I write. Yes.
So when you write, do you have to go, can you be out in public when you're writing? Does it have to be in your room, secluded? Can you have white noise playing when you're writing, or what do you usually need?
Yes.
To all of them.
I don't know. It needs to be like kind of quiet, but if it's too quiet, then I probably can't. I don't know. Well, it depends. Like if I'm writing a song.
Yeah.
That's what you're asking. I just
no. It can be a song or like a short story or like a poem or something like that. Like
okay, so if I'm writing like a poem or something,
yeah.
I can do that like wherever.
Okay.
As long as nobody's like reading over my shoulder. Like I can't really do it on an airplane because people get so bored on airplanes and they just like think everything is their business and like you just look over your shoulder.
I used to be able to write on airplanes, and then I started to get flight anxiety.
Oh.
So, I mean, writing on an airplane was like really fun until I was like, I think I'm going to die. So.
See, I started with flight anxiety and then I got used to it.
How'd you do that?
Well, that's like, it's like exposure therapy. You're talking about like reverse exposure therapy.
Yeah, that's probably what happened to me.
Sense.
I wish it didn't make any sense, but it makes sense to me because I get on the plane and I'm like, oh my God, we're going to go down.
I think about that all the time, every time I fly.
Okay. And so you're just ready for it. You're like, as good as any time.
I tell everybody that I love them unless like everybody that I love them.
Not everybody.
Before we take off.
One tweet, I love you all, going on a flight. So you can't write on a plane. You can't write in dead silence. You can write with some white noise around.
Like if I'm writing with my guitar, I obviously can't write on a plane either.
Yeah, no, of course not.
If I'm trying to like do a song,
Yeah.
then I have to be alone in my room usually, or alone somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Usually if I'm like alone with my guitar, I'm at my house.
Uh-huh.
Right. I don't know.
So is there any
Everybody
time
has to be out of the house too.
everybody get out?
Nobody can be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, do you like tell people like, hey, you gotta go?
No, I just like won't unless like if everybody's gone, like, well, I could write, like that's something I could do.
Yeah. Do you ever kind of like hint at people like, hey, you could do that outside or like outside of the house?
No,
so I can
growing
write?
up, I did that. Like if somebody would walk in, I'd be like, I'm writing, and they just like, okay.
Oh, does that mean to leave? Yes. So.
But now I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess I'll just not, and then but I have to finish it all at one time, otherwise I'll just throw it away.
So you never really let like songs sit. Wow,
Well,
that's gotta be efficient.
I'll go back and like revise them.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't like finish it all in one setting, then I'm like, how good is it really? Like, this is clearly garbage if it, didn't all come together in 45 minutes.
If it doesn't come together in 45 minutes, it's not worth singing.
I agree.
Yeah, wow. Okay, that's the stakes is high.
I mean, that's just like how I feel. But I also like in college, I was like that too. Like I would just like, if I'm writing papers or something,
Yeah.
then I just have to do it all at once. And that's why I put it off so much, because I'm like, well, it's just a big commitment.
Because once you start,
You
gotta
have
finish
to
it.
finish.
That's intense.
Yeah.
I will write one line maybe a week sometimes, like for a specific song. But that's commendable.
That just stresses me out, because it's just like
Yeah.
things hanging over your head.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair enough. Now, do you write when it comes to you, or do you like forcibly say, "I'm going to make a song right now"?
I think at this point I like know my moods
Yeah.
well enough. So if I know like, okay, I feel like I can write a song right now, then I will find a quiet space.
Yeah.
And if people are home, then I'll just like kind of whisper sing and write. And and then the next day play it loudly. But what was the question?
Do you let the writing come to you, or do you kind of forcibly say, "I'm going to write today"?
So I used to like force it if I like started one, and I was like, okay, I just have to finish it. But then I'm like, I'm at the point now where I don't do that anymore, because it just like, it doesn't feel good to do. It's just like stressful. So I know like I can't describe it. It's just like a a feeling.
It's like a muse. Yeah, it just comes to you. Sometimes it doesn't.
So I know like, okay, right now, like, like I could do this now, but
okay. When did you first realize that you wanted to do music? When you were like, okay, I can vibe with this.
When my piano teacher fired me when I was 10.
Why'd they fire you?
So it took like 4 years of music theory.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn anything.
Great.
So I don't know. I guess that was frustrating for her. I had like so many different piano teachers too, and they did their best. They were really good at what they did. So it was a me problem. But
so the teacher let you go, and you were like, "I like this."
I have authority issues, I guess.
Okay.
So I didn't like to practice because they told me to practice. But eventually, like, she realized I wasn't really like listening to her. I was trying to, but I genuinely like gave it a shot.
Yeah.
The way that I gave math a shot, and then I just realized like, this isn't for me. This isn't who I am. This isn't something I'm really capable of. So
you compare it to math.
That's what it is. Like, music theory is math, and it's cool that some people get it. I just am not one of those people.
Okay.
So like, we would do like one song at a time, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like just use that to, she would just go off of that per lesson. I don't know. So one time she like put this song in front of me, and she's like, play this, and I'm like, okay, Diane, like I can't. And she's like, what do you mean you can't? Like, these are all of the same notes, everything this is what you usually play. This is just like the song that you've been playing over and over again. And I was like, well, and she's like, well, how do you play that song? And I was like, well, I just kind of like have been copying you. And so, yeah, I would just space out and then just like copy whatever she was doing.
And then she was like, all right, get out.
Eventually she was just like, I just don't really see the point of you being here anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to be a piano player, obviously. But then YouTube, I don't know when YouTube started, but I started YouTube after piano lessons, and that was the time for me.
So you learned piano on YouTube after that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Poor Diane.
She did her best.
She did, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, like, I wanted to play guitar really badly, but I would, like, write on piano at that... So I was already, like, writing at that point. Just, like, very dramatic, like, garbage songs, and just being like, yeah, that was me as a 10-year-old. I don't know.
Dramatic garbage songs as a 10-year-old.
That is what I produced.
That'd have been a great album name. Dramatic Art Songs
It's a mouthful.
by 10-year-old Alina.
Yeah.
And so you just started writing since then. Now, you mostly play guitar, right?
Yeah. I have a piano that I play when I'm by myself.
Okay. Now, who or what has influenced you growing up? Because obviously, piano teacher wasn't an influence enough.
Well, okay, she's a very inspiring person. I didn't mean that.
Okay, inspiring person. What else has kind of like nudged you along to be like, all right, maybe you should continue to write and make music?
So I started actually trying when my sister bought me a guitar. I was I think it was 13 or 14.
Uh-huh.
She bought me a guitar with her lawn mowing money, and it was just
what a nice thing for your sister to do.
I know. Yeah, it was very nice of her.
Girl.
She was 16 too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah.
What?
So then I was okay, well, I feel bad. She bought me a guitar. I have to. If I don't practice, and I wanted it really bad, but I couldn't afford it, and because I was 14.
Yeah.
But she was yeah, she just did it without even thinking about it. And it's just because she writes too. She's a really good musician, and I always really looked up to her. And she would be writing and playing all the time, and I was well, I want to do that. That seems fun.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so I kind of started at that point, but
wow,
she was
really
definitely
cool.
one of the most inspiring people to me.
That's really dope.
Yeah,
wow.
she was good. It's good. She's still alive. Sid was.
Okay, bless her heart.
Yeah.
Does she record music as well, or she just plays?
Yeah, she's kind of just starting to record now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And have you ever made a song with her? No.
No, we would. I mean, everybody would always say "Oh, why don't you guys do stuff together?"
Missed opportunity.
We're not we're polar opposites as people, but when it comes to music, we tend to gravitate towards the same things that we listen to, or kind of the way that we write. But we've
Frozen,
never done anything together.
Fire and Ice, you're totally opposite.
Yes.
Okay. Which one would you be?
Ice.
Okay. What's her name? Lena? No. Damn, I forget her name.
Who?
The woman's name in Frozen, the sister that's blonde. I don't know.
I hate that movie.
You hate that movie?
I loved it the first time. I cried in the movie theater, and then after that, I was so annoyed because it's just.
That's a movie where nothing bad happens.
Well, I just said I hated that movie,
and it's a great movie.
It's really not.
It is odd because there's no bad guy, and it's just she kind of leaves because she's turning shit to ice, and then she's I gotta go. It's the only bad guy is the dude that says, "Because who would want to marry you?" That guy came out of nowhere. I was what? I was you're a prick all of a sudden? Well,
I really don't remember who you're talking about. But
okay.
I remember there being a bad guy.
In the end, it was the guy that was supposed to marry homegirl with the red hair.
Was it the prince?
Yeah. The prince. Yeah. Anyways, hard eye roll. So you haven't made a song with your sister. People are clamoring for it, and you have music out, but not an album, or what is actually out? You have
So the two things that I have that are finished, I have 2 singles that are out right now, and then right now I'm working on recording an EP that's almost it's basically being mixed.
It's basically being mixed, so it's all being
Probably
recorded.
soon. Yes.
Now, how do you support yourself, as an artist, going through all this? How do you fund it? Is it friends helping out, or is it?
Yeah. So okay. So the first single that we did, that was, I feel it was 2 years ago. I don't really know. I don't know, but I was still doing the college thing.
Gotcha.
Still trying to keep my head afloat.
Yes.
So I was working full time, doing the student thing full time, trying to be a person. Okay. So I just didn't see that in the works, going to record something because it's expensive to do, and then out of kind of nowhere, this meeting was set up for me to meet with this producer, and my friends good family friends I grew up with.
Yeah.
They like funded it like behind my back. So because they knew that I like wouldn't say yes if they so they just very sneakily just set everything up and so they like funded that first one and then like that was I was like, I'm so mad at you, but also like, thank you.
Also, thank you.
Yeah. So like when I started doing that, then I was like, okay, I love this. This is great.
Okay.
There's just like a whole different world. And
yeah. So now you have this EP coming out. You met with a producer. And are you going to do a show for the release of it? Or are you just like, I'm just going to release that and then not talk about it?
Yeah, we'll do a release show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
still working on the where and the when.
The where and the when?
Yes.
So when you, how do I put this? If you could talk to Alina in 2022, what would you tell her as a musician? What would you say?
I hate that. I don't know.
To hell with that question. Next.
Can you like make it smaller? That's just, I don't know.
What do you
more
want,
specific?
What do you want from yourself moving forward in the next album?
You just said 20 years and then you just said the next album. So that's like two different questions.
I said 2023. 2022.
I thought
like
you
3
said
years from now. 20 years from now?
I thought you said 20 years from now. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing tonight.
No. No, like I said 2023. That's what I meant. Like 3 years from now. So
that's 3 years from now.
Yeah, so I'm just saying like you as an artist, like what do you see as, what does progress look like for you? Is it monetary? Is it more people listening to your music? Is it you feeling more comfortable as a writer? What is it?
I would like to feel like it's going somewhere. And I don't know if that means just like getting it out there.
Yeah.
'Cause I do feel like a lot of what I love about doing it is sharing.
Yeah.
And just like connecting with other people through that and like the people I've gotten to meet. Just like working with other musicians or just like people that have been at shows. They're just cool. And so that's what I want. Like I want to
Kind of be in that community.
Yeah. But I'd like to have like a full album recorded because I have all the songs. I just it takes very long and it's very expensive.
Doesn't have to be. How many songs do you have? Like how many songs do you have that you could record right now? Like if somebody were like, hey, take the studio, run with it. How many could you make?
11 or 12.
You got 11 songs
I think
on
12. I think 12.
Damn. Okay, you got an album ready.
Ones.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I at least look forward to it. But best of luck, and that's that.
Great. Thank you.
No problem.